Hey guys, today's topic of the video is going to be about an important writer, American writer, who is Nathaniel Hawthorne. He is the writer of the Scarlet Letter and many other great novels written in American and world literature. So in this video we'll be discussing the introduction, early and literary life of Nathaniel Hawthorne, his important works, kind of styles he writes in, what kind of genre he uses while he writes, and we will also deal with the criticism on him by different writers and his contemporaries. So in this video we'll discussing all these topics. So if you like this video, kindly subscribe this channel so that you can get all the literary updates. So starting with the introduction of Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne was born on 4th July 1804. He was born at Salem, Massachusetts, USA. He was a famous American short story writer and he wrote many dark romantic novels. He is actually famous for his dark romance novels. So dark novels. His style and genres are well known, and his entire writings are much about morality, historical scenes, and religious themes. He died in New Hampshire, USA. Moving towards his early life, his father was Nathaniel Hawthorne. And his mother was Elizabeth Clark Manning, and he had two sisters only. His father was a sea captain and died of yellow fever in 1808. William Hawthorne was his great-great-great-grandfather, and he was a Puritan and came from England. I will also make a video on how Puritans came to England, and I will provide that link in the description below. So if you are interested in that topic, kindly comment me in the comment section so that I will make a video as soon as possible. William Hawthorne's son, John Hawthorne, was a magistrate of Salem, Massachusetts, and he was involved in a judge in the Salem witch trial. And Salem witch trial is a series of people accused of witchcraft, and hundreds of them were executed. So it's an important event. It is said that the reason for the spelling change was that he hailed from that town of Salem, and where a number of his relatives have been involved with the infamous witch trial. His family had a political background in Massachusetts. He was first admitted at Bowdoin College and graduated in 1825. He also became an everlasting friend of U.S. 14th President Franklin Pierce in the college. He also became a friend of Henry Wordsworth Longfellow, Jonathan Kelly, Siley, and Horatio Bridge. All these friends had helped him later in his life, like Pierce appointed him consul to the Liverpool. Longfellow reviewed his first book, and Horatio Bridge helped him publishing in his first book. So in 1838 he engaged to Sophia Peabody, and she was also an accomplished artist and a member of American Transcendentalist movement. I will also make a video on Transcendentalist movement. If you are interested, comment in the comment section. And I have also made a video on Longfellow, William Wordsworth Longfellow, and link will be provided in the description below. And also a video on American literature history, a brief history of American literature is uploaded on my channel. So he worked at the Boston Custom Home and the Brook Farm. In 1842 he married Sophia Peabody and had 3 kids with her. They moved to Concord, then to the Berkshires. He and his family moved to Europe and then back to Concord in 1816. Hawthorne died in May 19, 1864. After his death, his wife took his 3 kids along with her to the England. Moving towards what kind of influence upon him was, so let's start. During his college education, the Scottish philosopher influenced him, um, and the faculty of psychology also reflected in his novel. So Scottish philosophers and the faculty of psychology, their psychology influenced him a lot. Most of the works of Hawthorne was influenced by the rules of the Puritan age and his ruthless ancestors. Just like if you want to detect this theme, go and read The Scarlet Letter, which is the novel written by him. His work contained moral and psychological insights that are still used today. So moving towards his literary life, his first published book was his novel Fanshawe in 1828. He wanted to destroy it later because it was not according to his later work standards. He in 1837 published his several short stories, twice told tales in a magazine. In 1850, he published his best novel, The Scarlet Letter. After the publication of Scarlet Letter, he became a well-known writer in American literature and he became a professional author. In 1851, he published The House of Seven Gables. In 1852, he published the Blithedale Romance, and it was his third big romance novel. The Marble Faun was published in 1860 by him. In 1846, he published The Mosses from an Old Manse. In 1951, he published Wonder Books of Girls and Boys. In 1853, he published The Tanglewood Tales. Moving towards the genres and forms and style he wrote in, he was a romancer, he was a romance writer and an idealist. And even his novel, The Scarlet Letter, includes both of these features. Nathaniel Hawthorne was undoubtedly skilled at his craft. He wrote well and had an eye for literary details and understood that allegory was a useful literary device in ensuring that reader got more from his book than just a good story. So allegory is more important than just reading a story. In this regard, he had at odds with Edgar Allan Poe, who has more freedom with his words, indulging in prose that explore the recesses of his imagination without being moralistic and allegorical. So it's an important point. I hope you should get it. I hope you get it. So he might say that Poe used writing as an art form, while Hawthorne used it as a craft. He took a pragmatic approach by being more mindful of that his relationship would wish to read. Since he had brought up in a religious environment of Puritan, he loved to write about the Puritan society and sins and needs and all issues of that time. His theme is moral, and his themes are more about dark, gloomy, and that's why he is famous for dark romantic novels. So what kind of criticism is done mostly on Hawthorne by different writers? Kate Millett, a writer, accuses Hawthorne of misogyny. It is pretty evident in The Scarlet Letter. One more critic says that in American literature, women are considered as dangerous and morally inferior creatures when they are free and independent in their passion, and in Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, the same image is shown. In Hawthorne's writing, a critic says women are thought inferior, though it was the mindset of that particular society, but he raised the idea of feminism in his novel. It's not always true that he's a misogynist, because that society's image is shown in that novel that the society used to be misogynistic, but his take is not the misogynistic or anti-feminine. So that's all about this topic. So thanks for watching. I hope you like or dislike this video. Also comment in the comment box for further inquiry and do subscribe to this channel. Thank you.